Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Gulfstream Park here on Sunday. It's the 26th of January 2020. We're going to look at the Rainbow Six today from Gulfstream, but before we get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Mandatory payout for this Rainbow Pick 6. We're going to give you a ticket right now, so let's get on to it. Starting off with first leg, race number 6 from Gulfstream. It's a starter optional claimer purse, $36,000 race for 3-year-olds, which never started for a claim price of $35,000 or less, or which never won a race other than main claim starter or claim price $35,000. We have a field of 8 horses going to the turf course, a distance of ground of 1,600 meters or a mile trip on the turf course. 1,600 meters, 1 mile turf course, and I show the diagram. Just gives me a second to look down my notes, just bear with me. The portable rails are up today, and they are out at, for this particular race, at the distance of 36 feet from its true position. So it's the inner portion of the turf course, but it's quite far out from that inner portion of that turf course. The top selection here, we'll take a shot with the 1-horse Poppy's Boy. We'll go 1-6-5-3 in the superfecta, and we'll go 1-6-5 to begin off this pick 6. The top selection, though, is the 1-horse Poppy's Boy, this 3-year-old colt by Verrazano. Luis Saez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing, first start locally, came on the 17th of January at Gulfstream, 1 mile and claiming 30, and the horse finished second by 2 lengths, and basically didn't break all that well. And he just kind of stalked all the way around the race course. He needed that extra turn of foot late, but he didn't run half. He ran good, but he didn't run crap. He needed the race there first off the break. I think second off, he'll be a lot fresher. He has a good posture, and he has a good stalking ability for this kind of race. Before that, the horse ran the 9th of October at Indiana Grand, 5 furlongs and main special weight 31,000, and the horse went by 3/4 length. Didn't break all that well. Sat back early. He got the lead, and then he took off clear. You saw some immaturity that day, but he still got the job done. And then before that at Arlington, 5 furlongs on the poly track in the main special weight 30,000 and finished 4th by 7 3/4 lengths there, and he wanted to go. The jockey didn't want to let him go, and it kind of cost him late. He probably needed the race for experience. His most recent workout patterns have been nice. Second off the break, I think he's sitting on a good race. So at 8-1, it's a good price for your pick 6. Along with I'll be using him along with the 6-horse Vintage Kitten. Jose Ortiz is on this one. He ran decently his last 2, but 3 back at Gulfstream Park West Calder. He ran a terrific race in main 35,000 where he won by like really closing up nowhere to get the victory. If there's a closer that's going to win, I think it could be him. And I also think the 5-horse Blazing Desire, 3-1, again, another Mike Mager horse, another horse that could sit towards the front end. At 3-1, a horse you definitely don't want to keep off your ticket. But to recap my selection now for the 6 from Gulfstream, let's take the 1-horse Poppy's Boy as a top selection. We'll go 1-6-5-3 in the superfecta. We'll go 1-6-5 in the pick 6. Let's get to race number 7. The 7th race from Gulfstream, it's a claiming event going for a purse of $27,000. Races for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards, never won the races here. Going for a claim price of $25,000. We have a field of 7 horses going the distance of ground of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the main track. 1,300 meters, 6.5 furlongs, main track. The top selection here, we're going to go to the rail horse again, to the 1-horse Free to Fly. We'll go 1-5-3-2 in the superfecta, 1-5-3-2 super, and we'll use all 4 of those horses in the pick 6, but the top selection is the 1-horse Free to Fly, 4-year-old filly by Wilburn. William Downing trains this one. Ira Ortiz Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 22nd of December at Gulfstream, mile 16th off turf and a claiming 16 on 3L, and the horse finished second by a nose. Stalked all the way around the race course after not the best beginnings, but in the stretch run, he was a little crazy, but he just missed late. He ran a good race, cutting back to a 1-turn mile, which I think is going to be his preferred trip. He could stalk. I think he'll get a good trip. Before that, at Gulfstream Park, 1 mile and claiming 12.50. He finished 3rd by 6 lengths. He stalked. He needed that extra turn of foot late, but he still ran a hell of a race compared to his start prior, which came a Calder 7.5 into claiming 16. He finished 5th by 6 3/4 lengths, and he sat close that day, but he never really had a good run late. He's run on the dirt 3 times in the past, and they've been a little bit few and far between. Before the 13th of December races, prior dirt turf race was way many starts ago, but he's run good there. He's going to get a good trip from the rail. 3-1, I think he get a good run, so we'll use him along with the 5-horse Chutzpah. Iro Rendon's on this one, and every time it seems like I'm watching Gulfstream, Iro Rendon always wins a race. But this horse's most recent outing came in August, where he ran a disappointing 5th. Something must have happened that day, because he's been on the sideline since. But the race before that, he ran races that could win here. Going to the mile trip for the first time should be a problem. The biggest question though with him is, can he run off the break? I think he can, because the workout patterns have been very nicely run. So we'll use him here along with 3-horse Crumb Bun, 7-5. I think he is a little vulnerable here. He ran third last time out, closing up a little bit, going 6 furlongs. I do think the miles should be to his liking, but then he'll run these duds like he did 3 back at Calder. 7-5, we'll use him on the multi-race, but I am a little scared of him, of just not showing up. And I think the 2-horse Janet B does it all. A horse I wasn't originally gonna use, but then I kept going back to her. Her dirt races have been very nicely run. They've been, again, very few and far between, but it's 50% on the dirt. I should love the mile trip, and if there's going to be a horse closing up, I think this horse at 4-1 has a live chance. So we'll use her here. So to recap my selection for the 7 from Gulfstream, I'm going to take the 1-horse Free to Fly as the top selection. We'll go 1, 5, 3, 2 in the superfecta, and we'll use all 4 of those horses in the pick 6. Let's get to the 8. Race number 8, it's a starter allowance race, purse $36,000. Race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. Never start for a claim price $35,000 or less, which never won a race in the main claim starter. We have a field of 9 horses going to the turf course, a distance of ground of 1,700 meters, with a distance of ground of 1 mile and a 16th on that turf course. 1,700 meters, 1 mile and 1/16 here. Rails are out at 108 feet, so it's the outer portion of the turf course. Excuse me, 96 feet. It's the outer portion of the turf course. Top selection here. We'll take the number 9 horse, Snap Hook. We'll go 9, 2, 3, 5 in the superfecta. 9, 2, 3-5 super. Top selection 9 horse Snap Hook. 5-year-old gelding by Flower Alley. Michael Pino trains this one. Javier Castellano gets the mount. The horse's most recent out came 26 November at Parks. Mile 70 on the dirt, and allowance race 57,000. And the horse finished 5th by 14.5 lengths, and just hit the wall that day. From a stocking position, I don't think his dirt races are that good. His turf form's very good, but he hasn't been on the turf since the 9th of August. That came at Saratoga, mile 16th on the inner, and a star allowance race 50,000. He finished 2nd by 7.5 lengths. He set the pace. He kind of hit the wall like the winner Red Knight Hand, who won that day and won extra out, which is much the best. But this horse placed decently there. Before that, in a claiming 50 at Churchill, mile 16th on the dirt. He won by 1.5 lengths on the front and all throughout, took off clear, and then prior to that they ran on the turf and made 75,000 at Churchill, mile 8th. The horse won by 2, basically on the front and almost all throughout. This horse took off clear, and the prior turf starts were very nicely run, I thought also. 6-1, coming down here, back to turf. I'm gonna give him a nice shot here. Another horse you have to use on the multi-race is the 2-horse Tufa. Most recent race wasn't the best, closed up a little bit, but it has had a lot better races, on the turf. Going back to Calder, 2nd of October, and a claim 30. That was a very nicely run turf race where the horse won by 3/4 length, coming basically from nowhere. If you look at her form, she's come basically from nowhere her last few. Another horse, 4-1, definitely use her on the ticket. And another horse coming from nowhere is the 3-horse Armchair Jockey, the favorite here, we'll use also. She'll get a good trip. This outer portion of this turf course can play towards a little bit more closures considered to the inner, which is more speed orientated. But at 5-2, she has another live chance. We'll use her on the pick 6. But to recap my selection for the 8th from Gulfstream, let's take the 9 horse Snap Hook. We'll go 9, 2, 3, 5 in the superfecta. We'll go 9, 2, 3 in the pick 6. Race number 9 from Gulfstream. It's a claiming event. Purse $20,000. Race is for fillies mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Going for a claim price of $8,000. We have a field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the 1-turn mile trip. 1,600 meters, 1 mile here. And this is one of the most wide open races, I think, of the sequence. I think this race might blow it up. I'm going to go with the 7-horse Grace's Drama. We'll go 7, 6, 1, 5 in the superfecta. 7, 6, 1, 5 super. Top selection 7-horse Grace's Drama. By the way, we'll go 7, 6, 1 in the pick 6. 7, 6, 1 in the pick 6. But the top selection 7-horse Grace's Drama. 6-year-old mare by Big Drama, who did his best running here, I thought, in South Florida at Gulfstream, and also Calder in years past. But Jairo Rendon's on this one. The horse's most recent out came in claiming 6,250 at Gulfstream, 1 mile at December the 20th. And the horse finished 3rd by 7.5 lengths. Sat back early, a little bit wide. He looked like he was going to pound pounced in the quarter pole, but then he kind of hit the wall late. It wasn't the day to win. Before that, at Gulfstream, 1 mile claim 6,250. He finished third by 11.5 lengths. He closed up a little bit that day, but it wasn't enough to win him. Also, the winner Derlin, who's running back this race, just ran a major race, I thought, on the from a starting position. And then before that, the horse ran a Prescott on the Tapeta, mile 70 and claimed 6,250. Finished fifth by 5.5 lengths, and he hit the wall that day. His worst races, I've thought, have come around 2 turns. He's a 1 mile one turn specialist kind of horse. Looking over his races in early May to basically early last year to mid-May, those races, if he runs that race today, he wins these races easily. Where most recently at a 1 turn mile in May came at Churchill. What fast seal going? Claimed 7,500. He finished second by 3/4 length. He stalked. He had the lead for a little bit, but then he got caught late. But he still ran a terrific race back here at Gulfstream in March in a 1 mile obstacle 10. The horse won by 7. Stalked, got the lead, and then took off clear. Could have won by more, but Paco Lopez geared the horse down late. That was a very good run. And then back at Gulfstream last February and a claim 6,250. The horse won by 1.5 lengths and again took off clear. If they sit a little bit closer, I think that's going to be good. And 20-1, I think this horse, if she can find that form from last year, I think she could win. So we'll definitely use her here. I might also even do a small win wager on her. I also think the 6 horse watching the wheels, the horse come back to dirt for the first time, and God knows when, is a wise guy horse. 6-1, Paco Lopez on this one. The horse's most recent start on turf at a mile and a claim of 16. Horse finished 11 by 4.5 lengths. Was wide after a stalking trip. Really couldn't get into it. Before that, at Gulfstream, 1 mile and ops 25, horse finished 8th. It didn't break all that well, and just never had a good turn of foot. Last victory came at the Meadowlands, 3 back and a claim of 20, where the horse won by a nose on the grass. That was a very good run closing up, but I think these coming here is going to see a quick pace in this one. I think coming here to dirt, wise guy horse, either going to run a massive race or not going to run a race at all. I'm going to use this horse, suggesting that she'll run a good race, so we'll use her here along with the 1 horse Derlin, a horse that loves running here at Gulfstream Park, loves the distance, won 3 back very nicely and claimed 6,250. Last time out, this horse was just wide and just never got the good turn of foot. Again, before that, had a trouble trip going the 1 mile trip. Then, like I said, he won 3 back, winning at 50 cents to the dollar. Another horse, I think she'll run well, training well, 8-1. We'll use him on the ticket, but I still prefer the other 2 over him in this race. But to recap my selection for the night from Gulfstream, as a top selection, we'll take the 7 horse Grace's Drama. We'll go 7-6-1-5 in the superfecta. We'll go 7-6-1 in the pick 6. Let's get to race number 10. Race number 10 from Gulfstream. It's feature of the afternoon, actually. It's a lounge optional claimer purse, $52,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Never won. $10,000 twice in main claim starter or staple lounge race, which never went through races, or claim price $6,250. We have a field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of about 1,500 meters, with the distance of ground of about 7.5 furlongs on the turf course, rails at 36 feet. So it's the inner portion of the 180-foot wide turf course. 7.5 furlongs about. I think every turf race at Gulfstream Park should be measured at the about distance, because some races are way more than the actual distance with those long run-ups, but that's for another day. But the top selection here, and my single in the pick 6, will go to the 2 horse Sayaf. I'm going to go 2-1-3-9 in the superfecta, 2-1-3-9 super, top selection as single for a lot of people, including me. The 2 horse Sayaf, 4-year-old colt by Sepoy. Chad Brown trains when Javier Castellano gets the mounts. The horse's most recent outing came the 1st December at Gulfstream, 1 mile and claiming, allowance race 48,091X. First start around 2 turns. The horse took off clear. Career best 89 buyer, won by 3.25 lengths. On the lead all throughout. Didn't even have to really, do a lot that day. Javier Castellano was just aboard for the ride. A very easy run there. Around 2 turns again. Speed favoring course. I think she'll get a good trip from the inside, or he'll get a good trip from the inside. Start prior to that, the horse ran at Keelan October the 19th, 5.5 and claimed 63. And the horse finished second by 3/4 length. Stalked early on, had the lead, then got caught by Star of Kodiak, but this horse ran a terrific race there off the break. And then at Saratoga on the Mellon Turf course, 5.5 and allowance race 92,000. First time facing winners. The horse finished 5th by 2 3/4 lengths. Set the pace, but then just got caught in the stretch run. And then before that, main special weight 90,000 Saratoga. The horse won by 3 on the front and all throughout. Took off clear. I like the horse back to the 7 furlong trip. Has the speed to win here. Drawn well, 5-2, logical single, so let's take him. So to recap my selection for the 10th from Gulfstream, let's take the 2 horse AF. We'll go 2-1-3-9 in the superfecta. We'll single the 2 horse in the pick 6. Let's get to the nightcap, race number 11 from Gulfstream. Race number 11, the nightcap from Gulfstream. Its main special weight purse $50,000. Races for minions, 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 10 horses going the distance of ground here of 1,700 meters, or the mile and 1/16th trip on the turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 1/16th here. Rails at 96 feet. Top selection, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Scano. I'm going to go 4, 6, 7, 10 in the superfecta, 4, 6, 7, 10 super, and we'll use all 4 of those horses in the pick 6, but the top selection, the 4-horse Scano, 3-year-old colt by Bernardini. Blinkers on today. Tom Albertrani trains one. Luis Saez gets the mounts. The horse's most recent outing came 29th of December at Gulfstream, 1 mile and the 16th in main special weight 40,000, and the horse finished 5th by 2 lengths there, and, he moved a little bit that day, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Before that, though, at Aqueduct, mile 16th on the inner and a main special weight 70,000, the horse finished second by 3/4 length and was really closing up well that day. It was a little bit wide, but there was nothing bad about that run. And then at Belmont, 1 mile on the wide and main special weight 75,000. The horse finished 5th by 2 lengths. Was very, very wide that day. It had to save some more ground, but was willingly running late. First race the horse needed for experience, I thought, at Saratoga, but he's drawn well. Blinkers on, maybe being a little bit more forwardly placed here today. I think he'll get a good run, so we'll use him on the multi-race along with the 6-horse U.S. Army Corps, a horse coming to 2 turns for the first time since October, drawn well, hopefully sits closer. I think he can get a piece fit, and I think the 7-horse Lonesome Fugitive, the firster for Chad Brown. The workout pounds have been very nice. I like the pedigree here. She'll definitely love the mile 16th. 7-2. I don't want to be B5 first-time starter, so we'll definitely use him as the insurance play. And I think the 10-horse Centurion for Jimmy Jerkins. Last time out, he really never had a good turn of foot until very late in the run. Another horse drawn wide, but a horse that's going to really like the mile 16th, a 10-1. I originally wasn't going to use the horse. I was originally just going to go 3 deep, but then I thought, go into the mile 16th, watched the replay a few times last time out from Aqueduct. Like I said, I think he'll get a very good trip, so 10-1, I'll use him also, so maybe we could blow up this pick 6. So let's use him here. But to recount my selection for the 11th from Gulfstream Park, the final leg of the pick 6, as a top selection, we'll use the 4-horse Scano. We'll go 4, 6, 7, 10 in the superfecta, and in the pick 6, we'll go 4, 6, 7, 10. If you're following along, it should cost somewhere between the $43 range and it says $50, somewhere around there. I have the number written down, but I can't find the paper I wrote it down on. But it's a very affordable ticket, so make sure you play it, and it could be a life-changing day for you at Gulfstream. I know I'm going to play it, so good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.